conversation is mental health, and I'm very fortunate to have Warimo and Cookie here with me, mother and daughter. And Cookie, I want to ask you something. So there's a young girl watching this video right now wondering, is my mom like that? What is it like to grow up? You see, a child only knows what they know.
Yeah.
So your mom is your mom. So what is it like when that's your mom?
Okay, first, they don't tell you that they're sick.
Okay.
Yeah, so like she said, she was diagnosed 8 years ago, and 42 minus 8, 34. And at that point, I was about 12.
Exactly.
Yeah, so before that, it wasn't something that you open. You're just like, okay, so mom is just tired.
Or mom's having another of those days.
It was rare because my mom and I have always been really close, so we don't have those, like, we'll have those days, but it's not, you don't just peg it to that. Like,
Okay.
I'll be able to ask her, yo, what's up? Like, even until today, if she gets mad about something that I'm like, that's not something usually you'd get mad about, I'll point it out. I'll be like, okay, what's wrong? Like, did I actually do something wrong, or what's going on with you?
What's going on with you?
Yeah. But before that, I think even before that, she gave that open space. Because even growing up, if mom does something, she didn't make it sound like she's not going to apologize for it, like most parents are. Like, if she does something and then I go and I tell her, by the way, what you've done, I'm not with it, like, please just correct something.
She's very self-aware then.
Yeah, she is. She's actually and I think that's what helped a lot of even growing up with her that way, because it meant that even when she was sick, whether or not she knew she was, if she did something because of the illness and I came to her and I tell her about it, she's like, okay, I need to make sure that that doesn't happen again.
Okay.
Yeah, so she'll constantly think about it. Another thing is, when the older you get is when now you start looking back and you're like, oh, so that's what it was. And one example I can give is Churchill started this thing for Carnival. It's some kids festival thing, and I told my mom I want to go, and like I just said, I'm going. And then she was like, okay, yeah, we'll go, I'll take you. I was living with my dad at that point, so weekends were hers in general. So she came, she picked me up, she looked tired. I was like, are you good? She was like, yeah, we're going. So we even went to town, we went for lunch, and then she took me. And I remember even that day, she almost didn't come. In fact, we went late. And now looking back at it, I'm like, so she must have been having one of those mornings
where she couldn't get out of bed.
Where she couldn't get out of bed.
Yeah. In fact, I remember that day what I actually did was I found a seat and I sat. And I told Cookie, what you need to do is you can go for all the rides you want, you can go for all the things, but I'll be sitting here. So just keep on checking with me every so often. Just keep on coming back so that at least I know what's going on. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's how it ends up happening sometimes, that because it's something that needs to be done for her, and there's this thing that I don't have enough energy to be active, then I just have to figure out how do I work around the stuff that she wants to go. I mean, the place she wants to go, things she wants to do.
But Cookie, I mean, I speak as a mom. You people,
as people,
you take a lot as children. I mean, there is Parents' Day, there's concerts, there's, there's stuff. It's not just Kids Festival.
Yeah.
But mom clearly has great and bad.
Yes. And I think part of even growing up was knowing when she's in what mood. Yeah.
So you learn to read your mother.
Yeah. You learn very early, because you see, a lot of the time she's not saying no because she doesn't want to do it with you. She's saying it because she can't do it with you. She's not physically able to do it with you. So she's like, okay. So in fact, a lot of our relationship is about compromise, or like coming to an agreement, like just being like, okay, you want to do this and me, I'm at this place. So how about you go do this with this person? So she'll be like, okay, go do this with your dad, and then this part, come and do it with me. Because she knows where it stops for her.
For her.
Yeah.
Okay. You're very self-aware. So you get diagnosed properly.
Yes, finally.
But your daughter at the time is 12.
Yes.
So what do you tell your daughter?
I didn't really tell her anything.
Will you?
Because you see, okay, this is the thing that I even tried to explain to somebody, because it's somebody who, actually, I wasn't even married at the point that I got diagnosed. And in fact, one person said, I don't even think you guys should get married. Like, the person told my husband to be I don't think you guys should get married because I don't know whether the person was telling him that she doesn't think that he can handle me being unwell. It wasn't going to be a good idea.
Which chick was he dating?
Yes, and so what I told him...
Was it the one who had the great times or the one who had...
The same one throughout. I mean, I mean, you see, I don't think for him there's a difference.
Okay, great. That means he's the right person for you.
Yeah.
Right.
And so...
Okay, even Cookie agrees. Yes, that means he's literally got gold medals.
Yes, he does. And so what I told him to tell that person, and I think even for anybody who is watching this and has a recent diagnosis, the person you were yesterday before the diagnosis is the same person you are today.
It's just that now you know what it is.
You have a label. Yes, that's the only difference.
Okay.
And now maybe having now a name for it is actually, for me, it was a relief. It was a relief because now I knew I wasn't lazy, I wasn't unfocused, I wasn't erratic.
What a relief.
I was just sick.
Yes.
It was such a relief. It was such a relief for me.
But Cookie, you, as all children do, you dance around each other's houses, right?
Yeah.
So at some point you knew that your mom is not like other moms.
I knew that a very long time before.
So what did you think?
But I don't think
You dwelled on it?
I don't think I pegged it to mental illness.
You just knew your mother was different.
Yeah, because the other thing is, because now I was living with my stepmom, and my stepmom isn't sick. So the way they functioned, even as mothers, was different. Yeah, so if Cookie needs to go for swimming at 2 p.m. And then she needs to go for a sleepover that same night, she needs to be picked up the next day, she needs to... she was on point.
It was for that mother, not for this one.
Yeah, because for her, she just write it down. She's like, okay, so we are starting with, and she arranges you, and that's how you go. And then with mom, it used to be more lax. So you go to her house, you're like, okay. So mom is like, what do you want to do? I want to watch stuff on your computer. Okay, she sets it up. You watch, she goes to bed.
So when did you see it in her?
I probably first saw it in her when she was about 14. Because she started exhibiting the same symptoms. So she was in school, and she would have these days when she'd go to school and basically learn nothing. How we know that is because she was doing a different system, and it's learner driven. So what happens is she actually sets her goals for the day, and then she goes through that work. So you find when she sets her goals, she's unable to finish the work because she's tired.
Okay.
Yeah, so what used to happen is that I'd be like, okay, clearly there's something wrong. But one of the things that I didn't want for her, in fact we kept talking about it, is I didn't want her to get a diagnosis before she was 18. Okay. Because I didn't want her to carry the label yet.
And also use it as a crutch.
Yes.
A sharp mom.
But eventually we had to pull her out of school and homeschool.
For that reason.
Yes, for that reason.
So it didn't matter whether or not I had been diagnosed.
Yes.
The problem was
very aware.
There.
Yes.
It was like we talk about it and everything, but it was never for, okay, let's go see a psychiatrist so that you can be put on something. It was just always for, there's a problem, let's do all these other things, except the psychiatrist and the diagnosis.
Yeah. And also she even went into therapy. Well, one of the things that I think triggered the longest depressive season for her was her biological father passing on, which happened in 2016. So when he passed on, I think she had 3 months of complete, total non-functionality.
Okay.
Like we'd wake up in the morning and we're like, okay, so what are we going to do today? Because by then she was already being homeschooled. And so we'd say, what are we doing today? So we'd watch movies, we'd watch series, or we'd bake. Like she was on holiday basically for those 3 months. And then now we said, okay, so as she got better, we're like, okay, now you need to see a therapist. We need to figure out school for you. How else can we tackle school without you having to be physically, like show up physically at a school, quote unquote. And so she actually went into a private tuition and registered as a private candidate for her IGCSEs. And well, she didn't do very well because one
and
was...
Not even that. When I had just gotten into IGCSE and the private tuition, Auntie Catherine died.
Yes.
So that year I actually lost 2 parents of my 5 parents. So my dad died in Feb.
By the way, she has 5 parents. We'll come to that in a bit.
So my dad died in Feb, and then my older sister's mom died in July.
Wow.
So those are her parents. So she lost both of her parents, and then I lost 2 of mine.
Yes.
Who were very and I think the reason why it hit me that hard was because she didn't have to be my mom. She didn't have to be there in my life.
And she
chose to
be.
Yeah, like constantly checking on me or doing stuff for me. It was because she wanted to. I never asked, because at the same time, you don't know how you're supposed to relate to your older sister's mom. Like, this is not your auntie. It's not your mom's sister.
No, it isn't.
She owes you nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a very long year. In fact, I think doing that private tuition, because I had to physically get up and go somewhere to learn with other teachers
and do exams.
Yeah, that's the only reason I was functional during that period. But the homeschool also increased how depressed I was when my dad died, because nobody was expecting me to go anywhere. Class was downstairs. Yeah, like that was it. So when that happened, I think everything crumbled, because this is like a side thing, but when I was 16, my parents were like, you're old enough to make your own money. So I started a small business for selling like cookies and cupcakes and all that.
These parents?
Yeah, these ones. They were like, this thing for giving you money every month, we're feeling you're old enough to do your own thing and make your own money. Them. Yeah, they're very on point there.
They're very on point.
Yeah, so they were like, you're old enough. So I started a business. But when my dad died, in fact, he died... I started it in 2015 on Valentine's Day. So I completely enjoyed that holiday because everyone is looking for a gift, and cookies and cupcakes are the best. And then a year later...
You're so 19. Let me just say that. Cookies and cupcakes are the best.
Yeah. And my name, like...
I know, and your cookie.
Yeah, in fact, my company was called Cookies, like with an apostrophe. Yes, because everyone assumes my name is Cookie, as in C-O-O-K-I-E anyway.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Everyone. I thought you were K-U-K-U.
K-U-K-I.
K-U-K-I, Cookie.
Yeah, you're the second person who's just like...
No, they actually think you're C-O-O-K-I-E.
People I have been friends with for years will literally be like, they've never had to write my name before. So so if we go for something and they're like, okay, yeah, I'll just register for you. And I find my name is C-O-O-K-I-E, Magana. And just okay. Just, okay, cool. So you'll walk around with a badge, written something. And
that is, I know,
it's not ridiculous. Yeah, so when we did the cupcakes thing, a year later, he died 2 days before Valentine's Day. And I was going to maximize on it again because it was a year after I had started my business. So I was enjoying it. I had prepared everything. Like that morning, in fact, I woke up really early because she had a job. And when she wakes up, everyone wakes up. Like, why are the rest of you not sleeping? Up? Yeah. Okay. So she woke up. They left the house. I woke up. I was like, okay. So mom had told me to write a list of the deliveries I needed to do because I couldn't drive yet. So they were the ones who were going to drive
do the deliveries for you. Yeah.
Yeah, but I had to be the one to physically deliver. So that day they went, and at some point, now this is how I found out my dad died. At some point, the house help came and she told me that my parents had said she takes my phone. So I'm in the middle of writing my business, like the things I need to do that day for work.
Give me the phone.
Yeah, and I'm like, did I do something wrong? It's like 8 in the morning on a Saturday. I was like, it can't possibly have been me. So I'm like, okay, she takes the phone. And then I think they call again and there's some miscommunication. She brings it back. So may I continue? And then I send the list to my parents. And then they realize I have my phone. So it's taken again by the
What were you trying to do?
We didn't want her to find out on social media.
Okay. Yeah, yes. And also the second time when the phone was given back to me during the miscommunication, I found 3 missed calls from numbers I didn't know.
Yeah.
So when I had
to call her, I wanted to be the one who's physically there. Yes. And when I'm physically there, so that I can do what she needs me to do at that moment in time.
Yeah. So it was a really long morning because my phone was taken again. And then nothing else happened until they got home at like 10, 11.
And I was doing bridal makeup. So you can imagine, I walk into the bride's house And then I find a missed call. So as I'm waiting for the bride to get ready, I call. And I call her auntie, and her auntie gives me this news. In fact, I fell apart.
Yeah.
Poor bride.
Yes.
But I had to. But poor bride.
Yes, but I had to do her makeup.
So you
so I couldn't run to my daughter.
Because you had to finish this job.
Yes, because this is your day. You know, it doesn't matter what's going on with me. This is your day. Yeah.
So I want to take a break, and when we come back, I'm going to ask Cookie, I need you to tell me, what would you tell a mom who's 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old is where you were? What does she need to know or look out for? Okay. I would like you to tell a mom what should she look out for in her daughter, her son. Because I think the blessing of having the two of you, we will get back to your 5 parents in a moment. By the way, I am so in love with her. I'm taking her number. But I think it's very important that the two of you here help other families begin to see, understand, and know what to do.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I'll be back. Have you noticed I'm like watching tennis? I'm doing this. That's all I'm doing. And then it's my platform. That's all. Yeah? Subscribe and come back.